Welcome back to the Christian Henderson Show, guys. Today we're here with episode 2 in a series called Not Your Average Athlete. All right, so this is a short series where I interview college athletes from different sports. I'm going to ask them similar questions and get different perspectives on what it looks like to compete with excellence at their level. So if you like sports, then you're going to like today's podcast episode, especially if that sport is basketball. My guest today is originally from Australia, so naturally he's just going to sound smarter than anyone that I've had on the podcast. It's just how it works. But a little bit about this guy. I won't dive too deep into it because we're about to hear from him. But man, he's the type of dude that every time we talk, I'm encouraged by his ability to listen, ask sincere questions, and just be genuine with his words. So this man is not only a great athlete, but just a great dude in general. So please help me welcome to the podcast, number 7, Mr. Jackson McCabe. Jackson, thanks for joining the conversation, mate.
Thank you so much, Christian. I really appreciate that introduction.
Yes,
feel
sir.
amazing. It's very replicated, bro. I really love talking to you every time I see you, and that's why I thought it'd be a great idea to jump on the podcast, man. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Well, dude, I'm excited. Finally get to sit down and just kind of have this type of conversation. People get to listen in, so it's going to be great. We're diving into some practical things today for everybody listening. So I hope you guys stick with us. We're going to answer questions like, what does it take to be a college athlete? What sets a good athlete apart from a maybe average athlete? And then, are you born with talent? Is it learned? We're gonna dive deep in some of these questions. But first, I want to start off with a few fun ones. So Jackson, I'm going to throw out a challenge to you here. It's not easy to answer, at least for me, any question in a couple of sentences, but I'm giving that challenge to you. I'm going to throw out about maybe 5 or 6 questions, and I just want you to answer them
off the top of the head.
off the dome.
I'll give it a crack.
Okay, let's do this. So starting with the first one, this might be challenging to answer in a few sentences, but what is the most embarrassing moment that you've had on the court?
I traveled in front of a packed home crowd, maybe my 3rd game at DBU, and it was bad. It was like really bad.
Ooh, okay. The second one, if you were to play on a professional team, which team would you want to play on?
Ooh. Professionally back home, the Brisbane Bullets.
Okay.
If I had to play in the NBA, I have to go the Mavs.
Oh,
Mavs, go Dallas.
Dude, I could see you playing for them. All right,
let's go.
Let's make it happen.
The team that I first came over here. First place was Dallas, so I have to go with them. You know.
Come on. All right, greatest athlete role model as a kid.
Ooh, greatest athlete role model. So if you had said greatest athlete, I'm going LeBron.
Oh,
greatest athlete role model. That's interesting. This is tricky. I was always a fan of Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant growing up. So either one of those two, I loved how the way they played and stuff. I think they stand for some pretty good values.
Okay, let's go. So I'm guessing your answer on the Michael Jordan, LeBron James GOAT argument.
There's an argument, but is it really like? Come on, man.
Because Michael Jordan's the GOAT, right?
No,
see, I
man.
I agree.
No,
Michael
it's
Jordan's
gotta
the
be
man.
LeBron. He's 41, man, and he's hooping like almost the same numbers in his prime. But that's a whole argument, man. If you take longevity out of it, I can definitely see the Michael Jordan appeal. But this is a big conversation in our locker room, actually. Because our coach is very Michael Jordan, very old school style, and we are all the new young kids telling him about LeBron, and so that's always a fun conversation to get into in the locker room. I bet it
is. If we kept talking about it, that might be the whole podcast. And
it could be. It very well could be.
Yeah, but shout out to Coach Flickner. He's got the right answer.
I'll let him know.
Yeah. All right. So on the court, what is the thing that you often think about besides the game? Does your mind often wander at all to anything?
When you say that, like, completely out of the game, or just on other aspects of like other than scoring and stuff? Because when I'm in the game, I'm only thinking about the game. I'm never really I'm locked, man.
Locked in.
I'm
So
thinking,
you're
how
not
can
dreaming about
I?
the waffles that you could
No,
eat afterwards? No, okay. Okay,
maybe
locked
right at
in.
the end when I'm like, okay, I'm a little hungry.
Yeah,
Some waffles
yeah.
and some chicken will be nice. But
Right.
in the game, man, and I can say this for a lot of the team as well. Like, we're locked, trying to do whatever we can to get that win for sure.
Yeah. No, that's the right answer right there. But what is the go-to post-game meal?
Post-game meal, bro. I've said this on after a game one time when I was interviewed. Canes, man. If I
Ooh,
have to treat myself,
yeah.
Canes. Otherwise, it's a nice healthy meal. It'll be some salmon after, or like
Ooh,
we
some
get
salmon.
Olive Garden for post game sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes we have Jimmy John's and Outback. We've had Outback. I like Outback. You
Wow.
know, I
It's a
like
little
Outback.
bougie.
But
Okay.
if I have to treat myself, if all right, going out to eat with the team.
Hmm.
Gotta have some of those chicken fingers, man. They're just too good. Don't have Canes back home, bro. So I come over here,
Oof.
and it's pretty good.
Isn't that's like the second reason why you came to America, because of
Oh
Cane's?
yeah, for
After you heard
sure.
about it, you were like,
Yeah, I have to
okay.
go over and try this famous cane sauce that everyone goes on about over here. So
Dude, ain't as good as the Chick-fil-A sauce, but that might be another argument for us to
Chick-fil-A is also
talk
very
about.
good. Yeah,
Mm-mm-mm.
got some good ones. But yeah,
Yeah,
man.
love that. Love that. Okay, so last spitball question. If you had a walk-up song in basketball, like you personally walking up,
Yep.
catching the ball, three-pointer, swish, like what's your song?
Dude, my music taste changes so much. At Battle of the Berg, my freshman year, it
Hmm.
was On Top by Flume. That was like a little Australian. He was
Okay.
like a little DJ sort of thing. My music taste definitely changed since then.
Hmm.
If I had a walkout song, might have to be Land Down Under, honestly. A bit of Australian,
Okay.
iconic Australian song. If you haven't heard it, go look it up.
I will. I
Man Down
will.
Under.
Okay. Is that like a good workout song, or is that more like
Oh,
vibey, or what are we talking about?
it's just Aussie culture, man. It's just like you've got to listen to it. It's just
Okay.
talks about a bit of Aussie culture, and it's sort of like our unofficial anthem. So
Okay. Interesting.
yeah, maybe have to run out to that one. That would be pretty good. Maybe for Battle of the Berg next year, bro.
Next year. Next year. No, that's awesome. Well, dude, I'm glad we covered the important stuff. Now we're gonna get into the kind of deeper questions, ones that I know are going to be practical and just interesting, inspiring for those listening, especially those that maybe want to step into a position that you're in right now, playing college basketball. I'd say DBU is one of the greatest teams to be a part of. Just the obviously Coach Flickner, such a great coach. His self control is unmatched. So just a great team, and it's awesome that to see you a part of that team. So I want to dive into some kind of personal questions for you specifically, but also for those listening. So number one, man, tell us why you chose basketball first and foremost. Why was that your sport?
Yeah, man. So growing up, I played a lot of sports. I was a very sporty kid.
Mm.
Played my main ones was soccer. Played a bit of cricket. Tried rugby for a bit. Mum stopped that one pretty early. Didn't
Okay.
want me getting injured.
Shout out, mom.
Yeah, shout out mum. Didn't want to hurt myself doing that anyway. Now that I look back on it, I did a lot of water sports, a lot of like competitive surf life saving events, which it's a thing, pretty big thing in Australia. Not so much over here, I don't think, but
Okay.
a lot of like water sports, and then basketball. I started pretty similar time frame, probably about 10 or 11. And my uncle and my dad played basketball like pretty often, nothing crazy. Um, my uncle played like some Australian representative, which was pretty cool at that time
Hmm.
because basketball was just taking off back there.
Yeah.
But him and dad just had to run around. I remember being little and going to watch their games sometimes and just being like, wow, like it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so I got into that, and then obviously I started growing, and so I became pretty tall. And so that sort of helped with the whole, hey, you're not too bad at this basketball
Right.
thing. And I also had a really good coach. Because where I'm from, man, like I'm a small town called Byron Bay,
Mm.
about 2 hours south of like Brisbane City. And so like not many people. It's a very coastal, surfy town. To have a really high level basketball coach there was super lucky. And so he was great. He brought a bunch of kids through, like around my age, through a program and trained them up. And so just a combination of having a great coach, my dad sort of pushing me and being like, hey, let's get you into basketball. And then the combination of height and myself, I just really liked it. I really enjoyed it. Slowly, all the other sports, soccer, cricket, all that sort of started to fade away as basketball took over. And so since then, I've just kind of gone with that and run with it. And it's become my passion ever since.
Let's go. So it sounds like you got a little bit of family history in there, some good role models, a great coach to get you started, and then obviously the genetics kind of helped out.
Yeah, always helping out.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'8".
6'8". Okay, yes, so not 6'7".
No, unfortunately not. I get asked that question so many times, and I know the little kids always want me to say 6'7", and I never have because I can't bring myself to do it.
Hey,
maybe one day I'll say it just so I can see their reaction, given what they're looking for. But that day has not come
yet. Okay. One day when we're old and gray and everyone's forgotten about it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully by then it seems to be carrying on.
You mentioned the height. Dude, every time I give you a hug, it's like my chin just like kind of hits the shoulder. I gotta like lean down and
I'll watch that next time.
Dude, that's awesome. It's cool to hear the journey and what kind of accumulates for somebody to lock in on their passion, and I think it's awesome how, man, God gives us great role models. He gives us people in our lives, and then he also gives us, some height or some skill or a knowledge in what we're skilled at. So for anybody listening, I mean, I don't know what your thing is. It could be basketball, it could be another sport, it could be an instrument, but God's given you certain people in your life that I bet you could point out, and then he's also given you some sort of talent and ability that seems like it comes naturally for you. And I feel like pairing that influence and that passion with the skill allows you to move forward and pursue something that brings a lot of fulfillment. So,
and absolutely, man, if God hadn't placed so many things in the right order in my life, like I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be playing college basketball. If that coach wasn't there, if my family weren't so, allowing me to travel across the country out of their pocket just to play basketball, a sport I like. If he didn't instill in me gifts like height and determination, I wouldn't be here. So God is definitely a main reason why I'm here. And it's just I'm trying to use the things he has given me to the fullest potential.
Yeah, dude, I love that. And I think that's a big separator in a lot of athletes when they have this mindset that, hey, it's not all about me, right? It's I recognize where these skills and abilities came from. So
exactly,
that's awesome, dude. We'll diving into our next question here. What do you do specifically as an athlete that you feel like sets you apart from other athletes? I know there's certain things, and we talked about it. A lot of it's perspective, but is there some practical things that maybe you might encourage other younger athletes to start doing? Maybe that's something that your coach kind of helps the team out with, but throwing that question out there for you, what's something that sets you apart?
Yeah, absolutely. And so a big thing that I've sort of gathered over the years is, a lot of people are told, I'm going to relate this to basketball, but it can relate to any sport at all. Like, oh, you need to get your left hand up. You need to work on this. You need to work on this weakness. But the thing that makes you a really good basketball player most of the time is doing what you're good at and doing that strength to the best of your ability. And so definitely work on your weaknesses. Absolutely get those up. But be good at one or two or three things, but be excellent at them.
Yeah.
Be so good at them that no one can stop you. No one can figure out what you're doing. And coming over from Australia and fitting into an American role, I'm not trying to be like the one guy doing everything, especially my role as like a forward. I'm connecting everyone else. I'm winning for the team. I'm not just winning for individual success. I'm connecting, rebounding, screening, doing things for other people. And so I have, one or two really good moves that I can do inside, and I'm working on my shooting. I'm working on all my weaknesses, my finishing. But my main thing is hard work ethic. I'm a big presence, and if I get on the right block, good luck. So you just got to be good at one or two really good things, and then, work really hard, work on your weaknesses. But that is a big piece of advice that I've really liked. Instead of trying to be the jack of all trades, master of none, I think that does apply in a lot of situations, but in sport, you don't see that very often. So yeah, you see people that excel in one thing, whether it's shooting or intelligence on the court or physicality. So yeah, that's one big piece of advice that I like.
Dude, yeah, that's really good. I think often it's easy to want to be good at everything, right? You want to.
Yes, exactly. Everyone wants to be the main guy scoring the points, but not everyone can have 30 points a game. And so.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, I think often, why I'm not a pro athlete.
How do you know, man?
Yeah. Maybe I could. I still got a chance.
Maybe you could be. Yeah.
Yeah, walk on for the basketball team. I don't know if I'd want to be on the opposing team of Mr. Jackson McCabe. Hey,
Thank you, mate.
Of course. I think often, in high school for me, I was at a smaller school. I could do all the sports. Coaches were like, "Hey, do this one, do this one." So I did about like 4 or 5 sports in high school, but I never specialized in one. And I think often, like you said, when you were young, you ended up narrowing down on basketball, and that became your focus. I've never thought, like you just mentioned, like, hey, within basketball, you don't have to be a pro at every single part of the game to be a star. You got somebody who's a great shooter, they're a star. You got somebody who's a great rebounder, great on defense, they can be a star in the game. If you focus and you specialize in those one thing or in those couple things. And I like how you gave that caveat of, hey, still work on those weaknesses, right? You don't want to just be like scared to shoot the ball the entire game.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it makes a huge difference when people know, oh, that's the guy for getting under the net and pulling down the ball and getting us going in our next push, in our next offensive drive. So I love that. I love that highlight. I think that's going to be encouraging to athletes that might feel a certain pressure to get it all down. And I also think that connects to a selfless perspective. Even if you take the church, Paul talks about how we're all different body parts in the church. Some are, the eyes, some are the legs, some are the hands. Same in basketball. You got a team of people. You can't be the whole body. If you have that perspective, the selfless perspective of, oh, hey, somebody is actually the eyes of our team. Somebody is the mouth of our team. Then you can delegate. You can know who those people are, and make sure you work together as a whole. And that's what makes a great team, right?
Absolutely.
I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know. I've seen some teams play, and they got like one guy who wants to just take every drive and shoot every shot, and it's just, he's a good player, but the team kind of falls a little below average there. So
exactly, you've got 5 players, and if they can all excel at one thing, that's 5 things everyone's excelling at, then that's going to be better than someone who's still good but not excelling at everything. And so I really believe in that. On the basketball court, typically you got someone who's making the decisions, someone who's really good at scoring, shooting. You've got someone out there just for defense. Like, I know you being a Jordan fan, maybe you'll get this one, but like Rodman was not known for anything except his rebounding. And that's a perfect example of like, hey, just do your role and do it really good.
Yeah, dude, I love that. That's super encouraging. Well, as well as, being really good at basketball, being skilled, being able to encourage those guys around you. Sports aren't easy all the time. Oftentimes, especially in the social media age, we see all of the highlights. We see the highlight reel of the dunks, the 3-pointers, the contested rebounds, and we're like, oh, okay, that's what basketball is. That's what sports are. That's what it looks like to be really good, is just the highlights. But obviously, there's a lot that happens behind the scenes. There's kind of those reps that you put in that people aren't watching you do, that when you come and you get on the court and everybody's watching you, allows you to excel and exceed in the game. So I wanted to ask you, within the behind the scenes efforts and practice and grind that can often be so painful and challenging and requires a lot of discipline, what is your motivation, and what would you say this purpose is that you hold on to?
Yeah, so firstly, at DBU, we have a saying that I've really adopted and taken on, which is audience of one.
Hmm.
There was a banner hanging up on the stadium that said audience of one. It's right above our locker room. And audience of one referring to God. He is the only one watching when you're in there doing the reps by yourself late at night, shooting, working out, working on your ball handling. And he might be the only one there, but he is there and he does see you and he's going to reward you the harder you work. And so my motivation, not only for him, obviously, but coming from Australia, like I said, my family, ever since growing up, have supported me in, they never, I never skipped a basketball camp, even though, you know, we might not have been able to, it might not have been the most convenient thing for my parents to make a 10-hour drive down on the weekend just so they could sit in the stadium and watch their kid play and then drive 10 hours back. But they always did it for me. They never complained. They knew it was what I loved. And so I'm trying to give back to my dad and my mom, especially for allowing me to come over. And, you know, I'm in the States doing what I love, and a lot of that experience is props to them. And so it's also for myself. I've worked hard to get here, man. And like you said, the behind the scenes, everyone's done this in some aspect of their life. I'm sure you've done it in multiple aspects of your life where you put in the hard work and you're just like, I really hope this works out.
Yeah.
And so moving away from friends and family and, you know, going through obviously some big hoops to be here. Like I want to give it the best crack I can and do it, try embody the gifts God has given me and use them to the best of my abilities.
Yeah.
If I give 100%, then I can't say I left anything out there. And so my motivation is the people who have supported me, myself, and the Lord.
Dude, I love that. I love that. That reminds me, number one, I want to definitely affirm you in that. I think, again, we've been talking about this perspective that I think God honors and just recognizes his children that have that perspective, and he sees those people and he lifts them up. So I think that's encouraging for me. I know it's encouraging for a lot of people. And hearing you say that, you know, God, family, and then you as well. Those three at the camp I served at over the summer. We had this saying. It was kind of marked all over the camp. It was "I am third," and recognizing that, hey, man, God first, family, others second, and then I'm third. And I think often having that perspective, like, hey, the reason I do the things that I do is to bring glory to the one who gave me these gifts.
Exactly.
Number two, like, my family has stuck with me. They're here, they're present. I'm going to honor them through my actions and the things that I do. And then, hey, God's given me a body. He's given me motivations. He's given me this sense of discipline and purpose. So I'm gonna do this for me too. I want to live this fulfilled life, this abundant life that God has offered. So let me go out there and respect myself in that. So
absolutely, mate. Yep,
covers 100%. All the
100%.
boxes, and I think you summarized that very, very well. So, well, dude, to finish us up today, I want to hear one of your best pieces of advice, or just best piece of advice for someone who has a dream to play in college or even play professionally as an athlete.
Yeah, man, look, you know, it's all, everyone, there's a lot of stuff out there about talent versus being born with it versus working for it. And I'm not going to sit here and tell everyone, you know, everyone starts on an even playing field, because they don't. Not everyone's born with athleticism. Not everyone's born with height or a knack for the game. But look, if you are if you have a real dream and motivation to go and do something, and you have the physical capabilities to do it, like if you have two legs and you have a drive and you have a want for it, then don't let people stop you from doing that, and work hard at it. And I always go by, if you give it 110%, well, then you gave it your all, man. Like, you did everything you can. And I try to live by that in everything I do. Give it 110%. Some doors may, someone really smart actually told me this not too long ago, actually, but some doors are opened so you can walk through, and to realize that there's other doors within that door that you can walk through. And sometimes that may not always be the initial plan, but you know, God works in mysterious ways, and sometimes the opportunities that lead from one door are better than you were expecting. And so if you want to strive to be an athlete, work hard, surround yourself with people who are like-minded, seek out coaches and teammates who are going to help you and rise to the challenge, and stay disciplined. Once you get to a certain point, it really does become whoever works harder. But obviously some people start more ahead than others, but that's only the initial start.
Yeah.
Once you get into it, get into the thick of it, then whoever works harder will be successful. So show up to practice every time. Don't skip. I'm tired. You know, none of that. Work hard, show up, and cherish the moments, dude. Like, throughout high school, back in Australia, and college these last 2 years, I've made memories that I'm going to be able to tell my kids about. And like the opportunity that I get from having worked hard in basketball and coming over here, again, gave me the opportunity to experience life in a different country. And that is something that I'm so grateful for, and I will be able to tell everyone back home about. Not only how good that cane sauce is, man, but the friends and things I did over here. And so, yeah, you just gotta want it and work hard.
Dude, I love that. That's, man, kind of the cherry on top kind of answer. Again, I think it highlights the genuine spirit that you have, the way you answered that question. And yeah, man, given 110%, everybody doesn't start at the same spot, but hey, once you get to a certain point, if you are the type of guy that goes 10% beyond 100, then there's some great opportunity
and that
for
builds and builds and builds until, you know, you end up where you want. And
yeah,
man.
Yeah, and that sounds like a really wise dude that you talked to about that analogy of walking through a door and another door being through there.
Dude, man. Yeah. Really good, high character guy.
No, Jackson and I might have had a conversation before this where I mentioned that analogy, but hey, yeah, I love the callback.
I liked it so much I had to use it in his own podcast, so I thought I'd throw that one in there.
Love it. Yeah, glad you did. Well, dude, man, I am glad that we did this. I obviously have, ever since like we connected freshman year, there's just been a joy, just something that I notice in people that I'm like, okay, that dude is somebody that I want to get to know a little better. And super thankful that we came in the same year at DBU and that we've gotten to know each other through this time. And dude, you can count on me being at these games the next 2 years and cheering you on. Always enjoy it. But dude, thank you so much for agreeing to do the podcast and just giving some really profound and honest answers that I know is going to help a lot of people, man. So thanks.
Thank you so much, Christian. I really appreciate that. And thank you for having me on here. I really hope that everyone listening gains something at least. And yeah, thank you again for having me around.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Well, Jackson, is there any way we could follow you or get connected with you if some of the audience is interested in hearing more?
Absolutely. So Instagram is Jacko_MCC. So that's JACKO_MCC. And you can hit me with a follow or a message and say, hey, I listened to you on the podcast, and I'll get back to you for sure. But
let's go. Okay. All right. Blow up his phone, everybody. I'm just kidding. No. All right. Love it. Dude, Jackson, truly grateful for you, man. This conversation was encouraging to me. I know it's going to resonate with so many others. So thank you. And everyone listening, thank you guys for tuning in to the Christian Henderson Show. Go ahead and share this with someone who you think is going to find it inspiring and informative, especially if it's an athlete or someone with a goal to play college sports. Remember to ask yourself this question: what is the next best thing you can do now? Go accomplish your goals and give them 110%. Let's go!